Okay, so this will be part 2 of the video since I just got cut off. I had to upgrade my account on Screencast-O-Matic. So I've now upgraded the account, and now I should be able to record these videos going forward without hopefully getting cut off. Apparently I post-process too slow when trying to talk as well. So I can't do two things at once apparently. So where I left off in the post-processing was to go into noise reduction. So what I want to do right now is reduce the noise in the photo. And so you'll see here what you typically get with HDR is quite a bit of noise when you blend the couple images together. So even though I did click that button in Photomatix to have it take some of the noise away, you still wind up with a fair amount of noise. And this one isn't too bad. But you can certainly see it when you go into some of the areas. You can see some of the pixelation right in this area. As I drag this across, you can see that it does smooth it out a little bit, so it's not nearly as pixelated. So I'll just let Nick take care of that. It usually does a pretty good job just on automatic, and so that's typically where I'll start that process. And so there it goes. It removes some of the noise. You can see it doesn't do a whole lot to the image when viewed at full size, but it is one thing that has just annoyed me when I've printed pictures out, that they've been a little bit noisy. The second program that I usually open in the post-processing steps is usually this one, Viveza. Don't know how to say that, but Viveza, I guess, is how you'd pronounce it. And what I like to use here is this contrast slider. I think it does a really good job of really adding some contrast into the photo, which HDR tends to take a lot of the contrast out of the picture. It tends to smooth things, and so I like to add some contrast back to it. And you can see the one thing I do like about the Nik programs is this slider here, which will show you before to the left of the photo and after to the right of the slider. And so you can slide the slider from left to right to see what it's doing to the overall picture. And so here again we'll just add a little more contrast. I don't like to touch the saturation all that much because I usually will correct the color later on. But here I just hit the saturation a little bit. The structure I'll normally bump up a little bit as well. So I think that looks pretty good. Here you can do a little before and after look at it. So there's your before, and as we slide this over, you can see just how it adds some additional contrast back into the image there. So I tend to like that one better. So I'm good there. Let it work. So again, you can just sort of see the difference just between the non-contrasted version versus the contrasted version. And I certainly like the look of that one better. And so now I go into another program, and that's On1 Software Perfect Effects. This is probably my favorite feature here. I really enjoy this program a lot. This is actually the whole On1 Perfect Suite is not free, but I believe Perfect Effects 8 is free. So you can actually get this program that I'm working in. You can get this for free from their website. I think if you just Googled On1 Perfect Effects 8, you'll probably be able to pull up the free version of it. One of the things that I like most about Perfect Effects are the ability to see the impact of the effect before you actually apply it. So you can see that when we click on the little arrows next to the categories, you'll see that it spits out little previews of what each of the the various effects are going to do to the file if you click on it. So you can see as we come down here, you can see the various options that you can get before you apply them, so you don't need to click through every individual effect, because you get a certain sense of what the effect is going to do before you apply it, which is nice. So here, because this was at sunset, I just want to apply a little bit of warmth to the photo. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do warm, cool, or just some warmth. And here I think I'll do warm, cool. This is a lot overdone, actually, and so we do want to pull some of these back. Actually, quite a bit here. I didn't want it to do that much to it and not make it look natural like it was when I was there. So typically I don't, and I will not, apply the full impact of the effect here. I like accentuating some of the colors, adding some color back to the sky here, and also making the foreground, which was in shadow, a little cooler. So we'll add that there. Also wanted to add a little bit of glow to the water as well, to make the water look a little more dreamy like. You can obviously tell that here from the right side was coming a pretty steady stream, pretty hard flowing water actually coming here, and then off to the left hand side was another river that was flowing out here towards the water, and so I just want to apply a little bit of glow to that water. So I'll scan through these and find one that I like on the water and the rocks. Okay, maybe we'll just go with rich glow here. I like, it gives it a little kick to the water there. Again, we'll pull it back a little bit here. Then what we'll also do is we'll paint it out. This is very similar to the brush that we used before in Photoshop, but we'll paint it out of the areas that aren't the water. Here you can change this to mask red and it will show you where you've painted the effect out of. So I must have hit this on mistake, so we'll paint that back in and we'll paint it out the rest of the photo here. Just to keep it again more on the water and less on the trees and on the mountain in the distance there. So now you can see a before and after. And again, I just like the way that adds a little bit to the water. Okay, so I like that there. Now just a little bit, more up here to the mountains. I may just add a little bit of color to the trees as well. let's just use that. Let's just use the fall enhancer. So here I only wanted to apply to the top portion of the photo, and so I'll paste the mask here, but now you can see that's only applying it to the bottom half of the photo. So what I'll do is I'll actually invert the mask, and that'll apply it only to the top half for what we didn't paint in the last time. And if you went back to the mask red, you can see that there. So we'll drag this down a little bit. Again, I don't like applying the full effect because I always think it's a little bit overdone. So I'll add that. And then to most of the photos I tend to add a little vignette just to bring the focus back into the center. This is just a subtle vignette. You can just see how it darkens the outside edges there of the corner a little bit. And I might want it to be a little bit more. So I'll darken the brightness down a little bit compared to where it was. And so I like that. So we'll just leave it like that and apply. And Perfect Suite sometimes does this where it hangs a little bit, so I will pause the video as it continues to process. And there it goes. It didn't actually hang for that long. And so after Perfect Effects, you can see the before version, which is with the contrast that we did in the previous program, and then the after, which is just a little more color enhanced, adding a little bit of color to the sky, and a little bit of glow to the water, and then adding a slight vignette. Actually, as I look at the sky, it might be a little too much for my taste, and so I'm actually going to paint a little bit of this color out from the sky here. It wasn't quite that red. Okay. And the last thing I like to do is just to sharpen it up a little bit as well. And here down in this corner you can see what the sharpening does. So again, with the before and after being dictated by the red line, to the right of the line is after, to the left is before, and you can see just what a difference it makes, particularly in the mountain with regards to sharpness. When fully zoomed in, it does quite a bit. Okay, so you have that. I'll paint it out of the trees a little bit. I don't necessarily want the trees or the water to be that sharp, so we'll paint it out of here. Since I just want it to apply primarily to the mountain. Okay, and there you have it. That's the photo that I'll be putting out to the website later today. So for a before and after, so here's what we started with coming out of Photomatix. and here's where we finished. So again, just a before and after of using some of the Google programs as well as the Perfect Effects programs. So hopefully you found that helpful. I do plan on doing some more of these in the future, and so check back if there's a photo in particular that you find interesting. Let me know, and maybe I can do a tutorial on that as well, and just show you how I did some of the post-processing techniques. Thanks for visiting, and hopefully you'll come back. Thanks.